Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
If the polls are to be believed, and after Brexit and Trump, it's fair to say that is a bit of a big if, the Netherlands will be the venue for the next wave of populist politics. The Dutch parliament was dissolved today, triggering the official start of the election campaign there. Well, according to those polls, Wilders' Party for Freedom is set to double its current 12 seats in the 150-seat lower house of parliament and win between 24 and maybe as many as 28 seats. Mr Wilders would need to form a coalition, and most other major parties have ruled that out. Wilders began his campaigning over the weekend with promises to ban the Quran, shut down many mosques and close borders to refugees and migrants from Muslim countries. And he's also promising a referendum on leaving the EU.
The man who styles himself the Dutch Donald Trump, the man who'd lead his country out of the EU, Geert Wilders, the man not just distinctive for his shock of hair, but for the shock his words are delivering to the Dutch political system.
Side backwards, backwards.
We're asking Moroccan scum in Holland. And once again, not all are scum, but there is a lot of Moroccan scum in Holland who makes the streets unsafe.
He picks a man in a red Trump cap to pose for a selfie, but for all the chaotic attention from the world's cameras, there are signs the Trump comparisons may be hurting him.
Are the problems of the Trump administration damaging you?
Well, I'm my own man. I'm not Mr. Trump. I'm Mr. Wilders from Holland, and I'm doing my own thing. So I'm not.
But does it show the problems that populists have in actually governing?
Well, I hope we will start to govern, and then I will prove you wrong. I'm not a populist, by the way. I'm just an elected politician that hopes to govern.
The Dutch have long prided themselves on their tolerance and liberalism, but as in so many European countries, years of high immigration are creating a backlash which populists on the far right don't hesitate to exploit. When mosques appear in working-class suburbs of the big cities, the words of Geert Wilders seem to resonate even among those who won't actually vote for him.
Some of his ideas should be taken over with the other parties.
About immigration, about Europe, which ones?
Yes, about immigration.
Not that I don't want immigrants, but I think there are too much.
It's the best.
Why?
Because he's saying what I'm thinking.
And what are you thinking?
What he say.
A majority here, of course, don't believe that Dutch culture is about to be swept away. And pollsters think that recent events in America may be hurting rather than helping the far right.
People are seeing the chaos there, and this might even explain the small dip for the Freedoms Party at the moment in the polls.
So this may have been a mistake on his part, identifying himself too closely with Trump.
It might. Although, of course, the sentiment that made Donald Trump the president are partly the same, or are largely the same,
Here
in the Netherlands.
This has become a multicultural country. Not everyone here is happy with that. Enough perhaps for Wilders and his party to do well, probably not enough actually to get him into government.
And James joins us now. James, a fascinating account of what's going on in the Netherlands there, but the polls seem to suggest that Marine Le Pen is also gaining in France.
Yeah, interesting polling in both these two elections. Geert Wilders slipping slightly, as you heard that pollster saying. 3 weeks to go, but it does seem that even though he might be the most popular candidate in that election, 25% probably about his limit, the others can form a coalition to exclude him. That is probably not going to be the next populist shock in Europe. But a poll in France today shows Marine Le Pen higher than pretty much any polling has ever shown her, winning the first round comfortably. Now over 40%, 42, 44% against both of her likely main challengers in that head-to-head runoff round. Now that's still 12, 15% behind, but just a few weeks ago she was 30% behind against both those people. So it is looking, I mean, part of this is because of missteps her opponents have made, and that may change, but it is looking as if we could be in for a real contest there.
Getting away with it all my